Hey guys, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to my channel. Let me make some adjustments here. I have a piece of Mentos and other things going on back here as to why you guys are seeing my door, not me. So guys, I want to talk to you all about something, especially my single brothers and sisters who you are wanting a spouse, a partner. I want to talk to you about something, because very often people will say they want a man or a woman of God, but then they don't really understand what that means. You know, when you have a man or a woman of God that is truly called to do God's work, guys, it may not necessarily be a person that's necessarily on a pulpit or like that, but there's a lot of prayer time and things that's involved with that man or that woman. They will have to pray, they will be fasting, things of that nature, and they actually walk by the principles of God. So you have to make sure that you're in a position to have that type of a person in your life, because sometimes people get married and then all they're thinking about is, you know, they just want to be booed up. Okay, all they're thinking about is our walks on the beach and you know, being intertwined intimately and, you know, all this stuff, and, you know, doing life together and buying a house and whatever and traveling. And so when you find that man or woman of God, then there's a problem, because the focus of one person will be the material, the carnal things, and not understanding that this person have to get up and pray. They may fast a lot. This person will be really in the presence of the Lord a lot. And it doesn't mean that they will neglect you and not spend time with you. Of course, you know, God calls anyone, when you're in that type of relationship, including your children, you must make time for, you must be able to balance it all, to do it all. Because you find people, they'll be in ministry and stuff, and then their children are neglected, their spouses are neglected because, oh, I'm called for the Lord. But you will find that the Lord even had a rule, okay, where when a man gets married, I believe it's in might be Deuteronomy 25 or something like that. I'll find out. I'll add it to this video. That when he first gets married, he doesn't go to war. He has 1 year. They give him 1 full year to please his wife, to spend time with his wife. So God is about the family. So there will be an expectation. Okay, guys. So as I was saying, you definitely, that man is going to spend time with you. That man, the Bible does say that we are to make time for our families and things of that nature. Is very important. Those relationships are important, guys. But the whole point of this video, so I don't go off topic, is when you have that type of a man or woman in your life, you should not be giving them a hard time when they need to pray, when they need to fast, when God maybe, you know, you think that we should buy these things and do certain things, but God is speaking to them and telling them, no, we need to give, not buy. Because it's very different being with someone that is completely dedicated to the Lord. I mean, you can really have a wonderful and happy relationship, marriage, because that's what God wants, but you must understand that this person is called and set aside by the Lord. And guys, what I wanted to encourage you all to go look at, which is a perfect example of this, would be David. When they were preparing for the Ark of the Covenant, there were so many things that David did, that he was doing, guys. And in 1 Chronicles chapter 15, you know, it talks about how he was preparing for David was preparing everyone to bring the ark. into the place that they had prepared for the ark, the presence of the Lord, and all that he had to do. He had to gather all of Israel together. He ensured everyone was sanctified. He was orchestrating all these different things. They danced before the Lord. And of course, you see that in 1 Chronicles chapter 16 down to 29 and 30, his wife Michal, she looked out the window and she was so disgusted or irritated to see David dancing and playing before the Lord. Okay, she didn't understand that. Okay, she's probably one of those it don't take all that times. And then now if you go over to 1 Chronicles 16 and you read it, you will see that once the ark was brought into the tent that David had prepared for it, then David, what he did, it said in 16 and 2 that 1 Chronicles 16 and 2, it says, and when David had made an end of offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord, and he dealt to every one of Israel, both man and woman, to everyone a loaf of bread, a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. So here he is still ministering, still doing what he needs to be doing, what God commanded him to do. After that, he appointed the Levites to minister before the ark of the Lord and to record and to give thanks. And so they were before the ark of the Lord with the harps and the psalteries and the cymbals and singing and the trumpets. And David even provided a psalm for them to sing and to speak out before the ark of the covenant, and all of the stuff, just praising and giving God glory and honor, right? And then after that, guys, it goes down to 37. It says that he left there before the ark of the Lord, and then he, gave the chief of the Levites and things of that nature instructions so that they will be ministering before the ark of the covenant continually. And then he went to offer burnt offerings upon the altar. Oh, he told them that they need to offer burnt offerings unto the Lord. He's given them all these instructions, right? And then at the end of it, at 43, 1 Chronicles 16 and 43, it says, and all the people departed, every man to his house, and David returned to bless his house. Now, while it does not say this, it's not recorded here in 1 Chronicles. In the book of Kings, it has where it shows you what happens. David enters into his own house after he had done all these things, been in the presence of the Lord, blessing the people, worshiping, gets home to bless his own house. Michal, his wife, is there waiting for him and talking about how he acted so unseemly, basically just giving him all types of flack about how he was ministering and how it is like below a king to act this way. And of course, David, he says, I will act more of a fool or whatever for the God that put me in this position, because it wasn't you or your father or any man that placed me here but God. So if me praising him makes me look like a fool, I'll be the biggest fool for him. And this is me paraphrasing. But the whole point of what I'm saying is, after he had done all that, been in the presence of the Lord and seeking the Lord, comes home to bless his house, spend time with his wife, probably just enjoy the rest of the evening with her. She is there ready to just nag him and go off on him, because where have you been, right? Putting it up to today's possible conversations. Where have you been? You've been out there all day. I've been home all day. You don't need to be. Okay, guys, I'm back. I have so much going on right now. So I'll just close out the video by saying this, that he goes home and he's getting all this flack from her. And in today's arguments, it would just simply have been, why are you praying so much? Why are you gone so much? Why do you have to always be doing this or that? Why do you have to be screaming? It don't take all that to praise and worship God, And we have to be very, very careful with that. Because if you are that type of man or woman, I'm trying to tell you, God is not going to bring you that godly man or woman, because he's not going to have you snuffing out that fire that he has placed in them. The fire that is in many people that's completely committed to the Lord, there has been a wilderness. They've gone through trials. They've gone through tribulation. They've been oppressed. There have been tears. There have been a walk, or a long journey that the Lord brought them to. So God's not going to let them come to you be in darkness, try to put out their light or try to calm them down. You don't like that they worship that loud, or you don't like that they pray that much. Guys, if you don't like to pray, and if you don't like to get before the Lord, and you don't enjoy his presence, you're not going to want your spouse to do it. And so it's just in my spirit to talk to someone, whether you are already married or not, or you're looking for that. If you're already married, don't interfere with that type of stuff. I'm not saying that your husband and your wife, there ought to be a balance, because God expects us to be able to spend time with him and our family simultaneously. There got to be a balance. There should be no neglecting, and God can teach you how to do those things, right? But what you have to understand as a husband or a wife of such a person is that God is first. God is first. And so you should not be giving your husband and your wife a hard time in doing the things of God. Because what happened to Michal after she went off on David and she despised him, that the Lord shut up her womb, that she was not able to give him any children. She was not able to give him any kids. Okay? So I end this by saying, think carefully, because sometimes people want a spouse. Those of you that are single want a husband or a wife because you want someone to do life with. You want someone to help you do things. And a man or woman of God is going to belong to God first. God will have them love you, spend time with you, all of that. The children, that should never be neglected. But you must understand that this is a vessel of the Lord. And just depending on your call, there will be more. They have to get up out the bed sometimes. They will have to fast. They will have to be laid out in prayer. And you have to be in a position to be able to not just sit there and say, pray for me too, but get in and lock onto the horns of the altar. Man, you want a praying woman, a woman who loves the Lord, then you must be a praying man and love the Lord so you can cover her and the house. So just think about what you want, guys. Truly consider this. You shouldn't just desire a spouse so you can have somebody to lay in the bed with, someone that you can be intimate with, someone that, they do the heavy lifting for you, someone that you can travel with, someone that can buy you things, whatever it may be. A godly spouse will always belong to God first. Are you okay with that? And are you in a position to be able to hold on to the horns of the altar and pray and spend time in the presence of the Lord with such a person? All right? So just a little something. Bye, guys.